Down here in this deep dark place, just making and creating for the human race. A half-ass rapper with a half-baked plan, but if he can do it, anyone can.
Good morning. Well, this is the third time that I've come down to record an episode for this week. And the other times I was just not in it. I really noticed it when I started to edit my last one. I'm just going to throw that up here because I did get something out of it that I wanted to keep, but I could tell I was just like in a bummed mood or whatever. And you can kind of see it. I ended up doing just a jam session. So I played guitar for an hour and a half to get a 15-second riff. Hey, it's something I didn't have before, but it was a bit of a bummer that day. So it made me do some thinking. I noticed by the end of the episode, I'd played for an hour and a half, got a 15-second riff, whatever, but I was happier. And I also spent the week creating a new song submission for Your Mom's House podcast. And during that time, I was pretty happy. But every other time I came down to do anything down here, I think there was like this, almost felt like a bit of a cloud that I didn't want to start editing anything for an episode. I tried not procrastinate. Technically, I was almost a week ahead. I was able to get something done so that I would have something just sitting around. And then this funk came over me and I fell down to being, it's Monday. And I've typically released on Tuesday. Obviously, there is no one putting this restriction on me or requirement on me other than myself, saying I want to do this on every week on Tuesday. But I think it was a bit much out of the gate. I enjoyed the first few episodes for sure, but started to wane as time grew. Not that I didn't enjoy doing it. I do enjoy the process of it because I enjoy highly technical things, learning, and seeing some kind of finished product. However, it didn't bring me quite the same fulfillment as making music, because this is what I was doing in place of coming down here and practicing for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. In that time, I would have created something, that creativity would have carried on through the day or into the evening, I might have come down and started back up in that thing, and then I might have gotten a song or something, who knows, whatever. That was like my process prior to starting this. All that being said, I'm not stopping doing this, but what my plan is, I'm switching. I'm not going to do nearly as many podcast episodes. So maybe 1 or 2 a month, maybe, for now, of a regular episode and a month in review. And they're going to be much less edited, much more long form, free flow of my thoughts, just because that editing time took a lot of time. And they won't include showing stuff. It's really just going to be more just me just dumping my thoughts out there. That'll be the podcast. That's the new plan. Hoping that will open up more time for me to play music daily or almost daily, which is what I really am interested in doing anyway. I mean, again, I enjoyed this, but it's not hitting the same notes for me. Pun intended, I guess, there. So yeah, it's not hitting the same notes. And I was thinking about it yesterday and decided that this is the new thing I'm going to try. I mean, again, I don't have a good idea of what's this is going to be in the end, but I could tell what it was is not right. So we're switching it up. So yeah, and I also decided that trying to record and capture the moment that I have an idea, I think the concept is good, and I've seen a few videos where people have done that, and the way they did it, it kind of worked. But A, I don't want to just take what they did, but B, it's not really how I work. So as far as playing goes, I think it'll be a lot more final ideas. A, because it's a bit of a distraction setting all this up. It kind of takes me out of the actual creativity mode. Sorry, I have a stupid little fruit fly in here. The lights and whatever, everything kind of works for a podcast or recording something that I already have an idea on. But as far as being in a creative play mode, it's a little bit too much for me. So why am I forcing myself? I don't know. So I'm not. I'm going to stop. What I'm planning is that I will regularly show more of the things that I can create daily. Show me doing a playthrough on the finished idea. And then I can release small little clips that take me much less time to edit, much less time to put together, all coming back to giving me more time to just play and create. Because that's really what I'm wanting to do. And that kind of brings me into the other thing, the YMH thing that I did. YMH is Your Mom's House. So the last episode I talked about the way that the Army kind of taught me to talk as if I know what I'm talking about, even if I don't. Now, this is a good thing because it does push me into just making a decision and then going with it and then adjusting as I go. It's a good thing. But it can also be not such a good thing too. Like, I mean, there needs to be a balance there. I want to be better at saying, I don't know the answer, and collaborating with others who might know the answer. That is my hope. However, I haven't had a lot of good experiences with sitting around waiting for somebody else to come up with a good answer. So, is that real, or is that just trust issues, or I don't know, whatever. Still figuring that part out. But anyway, that's not the point. I said that, and then when I was making this song, 90% of the lyrics are inside jokes. Nobody's going to understand unless you're a fan of the show. So, whatever. But when I was doing this, I was also, there's lyrics. So I was not singing, I was rapping. I decided to give rapping a shot. And I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. And I felt way less awkward than I thought I would. I wrote these lyrics. They just kind of came in the moment, listening to the beat that was on the track. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to put those down. I had the first bar that I wrote that didn't end up being the final idea. I switched it because I didn't love it. Was Jumpman don't know shit about nothing. His whole damn life been faking and frontin', pretending he don't care what they think. All day long, just wanting a break. I definitely thought the first part was fun. Jumpman don't know shit about nothing. His whole damn life been faking and frontin'. That was kind of just playing on that idea of, even if I don't know what I'm talking about, I talk like I know what I'm talking about. The second part of the line, pretending he don't care what they think, all day long, just wanting a break. That is, unfortunately, it did sting a little bit, and I think it stung because it was sort of true, but I thought it was a little bit too harsh. So I didn't think it fit into the song, because the song's just a joke, really, anyway. But there is like a real part in there. So, whatever. So I changed it after that to pretending he knows what he's talking about, all the while just filled with doubt. Also kind of true, but I just thought it was a little less harsh. So I went with that one. And that was the first bar that got recorded. But I thought it still needed something else because it is a jokey thing, and I have something very real to me in there, and decided to add a little bit more to pull it back out of that thing. So I added the next bar, which was, down here in this deep dark place. Meant it literally down here in my basement, which is my studio. But also, I was in a bit of a funk, so who knows? Maybe I subconsciously meant that too. I don't know. Down here in this deep dark place, just making and creating for the human race, a half-ass rapper with a half-baked plan, but if he can do it, anyone can. That all felt like it fit. So it was pretty interesting how that just kind of came to be. And I will just show you here.
Man don't know shit about nothing. His whole damn life just faking and fronting, pretending like he knows what he's talking about. All the while just filled with doubt. Down here in this deep dark place, just making and creating for the human race. A half-ass rapper with a half-baked plan, but he can do it. Anyone can.
So, yeah, I don't know. That was really fun. But again, that was only 75% of the lyrics. The rest are all just jokes. Had a lot of fun times doing that. So yeah, the between that, saying those things, coming to the realization of what is it that I was saying, and just realizing that I just want to make more music. And while I'm enjoying this and I like having this thing that I can express myself and put my thoughts into digital form, whatever, not words, but now also sort of words, is why I decided to change it up. So we're seeing if I can get something else to work better for me. So yeah, I also noticed that it made it easier for me to easier for me to do this in the third person, right? Like that was all me as John Michael talking about Jumpman, the person doing this stuff. I don't know, it was very strange how that made it easier for me. Saying Jumpman don't know shit about nothing. I didn't say I don't know shit, and I don't know if it would have hit the same either. His whole life been faking it front, and like all of it's third person. So why did that make it easier for me? Because I definitely knew it was talking about me, but I don't know. It's a question that I don't have an answer to. But it was true. I did it in the third person and it made it easier for whatever reason for me. So we'll see. But anyway, that's that. But yeah, because I was in this mood, I also made a playlist, a hip hop centric. It all started with an artist named Chill Bump. And I found them a few years ago with their EP, Hidden Strings. Check that out for real. It's a very good EP, very short, about 17 minutes long, 5 songs, not crazy. Great album. But I started listening to them, and I was doing this rap thing, so I decided I was just going to make a hip hop playlist for this week. So that's what I did. But also there was a few other artists that I found that aren't specifically hip hop, pop, or blues, kind of in the middle between those two. One being Jessica Lockwood, very new artist, only has about 3 tracks out right now. The one that I liked the most right now was Puzzles, but Making Moves was also very good. But already she has, almost 500 monthly listeners, which is, cool. And she sounds like she found her voice, which is also very cool. I like seeing when people find their voice. And one more that I really found to be powerful to me and a bit different is this song called Honestly Ugh by Blue Jay. Also, still a pretty, newer artist. She had a album called Chrysalis, which was her debut album that came out in 2024. And the Honestly Ugh song really kind of hit hard for me because it talked about basically this. She, like, the lyrics: I love singing, but I hate being a singer. I love winning, but I hate being a player. I don't like social media, but I gotta be on it. I'm kind of paraphrasing now because I can't talk and listen to this at the same time. But I hate social media, but I gotta be on it because who's going to follow you if you aren't on TikTok or something along those lines? And it's kind of very much how I feel, which is like, I want to make this music and stuff, and I want to share that with the world. And, who ends up listening or caring about it, who cares? I'm not interested in trying to force it to happen. And I also think you can't really force it to happen. It's just going to have to happen on its own. But it at least outwardly appears that you have to do this. Be on social media, be on YouTube and whatever, promoting yourself so that it will be seen. Is that real? I don't know. You watch a ton of videos and they'll say it's real, but is it really? It kind of will go back to a thing I've heard: be undeniable. And yeah, I think if it's undeniable, you don't have to do any of the other stuff. But will the other stuff make it easier? And do you want to follow that path? I don't know. It's a question that's like, no one's going to have the answer to, because sure, there's ways to play the game and all of that, but it's not the game that I want to play. I want to make music. So I'm trying to find a balance there. I'm not saying I'm not going to do any of it. I'm just going to change what it is that I'm doing and get back to what I like doing more. So, yeah. Anyway, got that playlist. I like that playlist. I thought it was a good playlist for me, at least for this week. A lot of people I've never heard of before. The only one I'd ever heard of before was Chill Bump. And then I just found stuff that kind of flowed in that same vibe for me from there. So yeah, got that playlist on my Spotify account. And yeah, we're going to see where this kind of goes from here. It is changing. So we'll see what happens. But either way, appreciate it. Hope you guys stick around. So if you like it, awesome. And if you don't, well, it's free therapy for me. So anyway, but I can tell that I'm happier as making this decision. I can tell that I'm happier with making this decision in the moment. So I think this is right. It was a little bit hard for me to do because I didn't want to feel like I was changing what I committed to, but I also, who put that on to me other than myself? No one. So I'm doing I'm trying to find what I'm doing that is best for me. What? I'm trying to do what is best for me. I'm trying to find what is best for me to do. What am I trying to say there? I don't know. There's something there that I'm trying to say. I just can't figure out how to say it. I'm trying to figure out what is best for me to do. And I know it was definitely not the exact way that I was doing it before. So there, whatever that is, you decipher what that means, because I'm already lost. Anyway, hope you guys have a good week or month, or we'll see. Anyway, thanks. See ya.